everyone, so welcome back to my channel. In this video we will talk about the constructor. Okay, in the last video we have understood the methods and the OOPS concept, and also we have understood the OOPS benefit as well. But in this video let's talk about the constructor. Now if I say the word constructor, what comes to your mind? Say it. So I think if I say constructor, that basically means to construct something or a thing that can construct something, right? So that's basically a constructor. So when you talk about object oriented programming, you cannot create object without a constructor. तो अभी आप यहाँ पे ये समझेंगे कि भैया मैंने तो इतने सारे प्रोग्राम्स बताए, वहाँ पे मैंने कहीं पर भी कंस्ट्रक्टर क्रिएट नहीं किया. But in Java, if you talk about the object oriented programming, then we are already creating some object and we are playing around with them, and we haven't created any constructor. Okay, but in this case, if you don't create any constructor, a default constructor is being constructed or created by a Java itself internally. So this is the internal working of the Java. When we create an object, whenever we will create an object, there will be a constructor that will be the by default constructor, a default constructor inside the Java, and we cannot see that. Okay, so when you click compile, okay, when you will run the code, the Java sees, have you made any constructor? If not, if it makes a default constructor that does nothing. Okay, so let's see what is constructor. Let's see example one, like a default constructor, how I can create a default constructor. Okay, so I will tell you from the code, and from the previous video as well. I won't be changing much in that. So let me create from initially. Okay, let's create a class. Okay, person. I will create a class from here. Okay, inside this main, outside from the main method, and here I will take some string name. Okay, and here I'll take this is the class, and here we have already created this main. Okay, here I will create an object. Okay, person, as we have already created that in the last video, but we will create again to understand. Okay, person 1, let's write this person 1. Okay, and okay, now person 2 equal to new person. Okay, so here what class person, okay, we need to make this person static. Okay, static class, because we are calling from the static method, so we need to create a static class as well. And whenever you will create any method inside this static main method, then you have to create a static method as well. Okay, so how we did not create here, we did not create any constructor, but the code still works. Why? It will work. Okay, why? Because Java created a default constructor internally. This is the internal working of the Java. Okay, so creating let's create own constructor. Okay, as you can see here, we have a class person. Okay, in order to create a constructor for a class, what we need to do is we need to type the class name we have typed. Okay, and braces we have typed. Okay, and no return type. Okay, we need to do like this. So let's see, I have created this class. Okay, now I have to create here person, the same person I'll take here. Okay, and here I'll print system creating an object. I'll pass here creating an objects. Okay, so what is this? This is the constructor. Okay, so now I'm using two objects. Here you can see I'm using two objects. So if I run this code, then you can see, let's see. Okay, person, let's print this and see what will happen. Here you can see, if I have run this code, then you can see it's printing two times. Okay, creating an object. So whenever you will create an object, then constructor is called first. Okay, even if there is no code in the main, the constructor still runs. Okay, got it? Okay, so let's suppose I will remove this, then what will print? It will print only one, creating an object. Okay, so from where this is coming? This is coming from the constructor only. Okay, so let's understand why do we need constructor. So okay, so what if you want to do some task when an object is created? Okay, all tasks that should be done while an object is created should be put inside the constructor. Got it? Okay, so we have to create a constructor because we will pass the argument, and we can create our own constructor as well, and by default constructor will always run whenever, whether you will give the constructor method or not. So this will work like this, Java will work like this. Okay, okay. Okay, so let's understand the second is example, enforcing name using a constructor. Okay, so first of all, let's remove this constructor first. This one, this I need to remove it. Okay, I have commented it. Okay, so this person, inside the person I had just added a variable name. Okay, and here I'll print here p person1 dot name. We'll take this. Okay, here we have added this variable, and we'll take this. See what value will come here. I think it should be null. See here, it's coming null, but obviously it's not possible to have a person without a name. Okay, so how we can enforce this? It's not possible to have a person without a name, no. So how we can enforce this? So we need to pass the parameterized constructor. We can pass some parameter inside the constructor, and then we can get the name. Okay, so it's called parameterized constructor. So how we will do? We have to pass, like we will open this constructor. Let's suppose we have to create a name for the person. No, so we have to pass the value here. Okay, here we will pass string name. Okay, and here you have to denote it from the this keyword, as I already talked about this keyword. Okay, and name here. Okay, okay, now if you will run this code, will it run? Let's see. Okay, so it's not running. Why it's not running? Because if we have created this constructor with one parameter, as this is the parameterized constructor, then we have to pass the parameter, okay, inside this class. Let's suppose here this is the class, no, and inside this class we are passing this parameter, but here we are not passing any parameter. So in that case, here it's saying constructor person in class constructor person cannot be applied to given types. Okay, so here what is the exception is no arguments. We are not passing any arguments, so we have to pass here some argument. Let's suppose Shalu. Okay, so now you must give a name. I am printing. I have given here Shalu. Okay, now if you will run this program, then you can see my name is coming Shalu. Okay, okay. So you can create a multiple object as well. Let's suppose I have passed this one, and as I already created the person too, so I'll create this one, and if I will pass here Shalu, and here if I'll pass Shara, then if you will run, then both constructor will, I've created one constructor, but you can see second construction is passing. Shalu creating an object, creating a Shalu is passing here. Okay. Okay. Here you have to print. Okay. 2. See here, Shalu and Sara both are printing. Okay, and this is coming because we have printed the value here. Now you can see Shalu and Shara is coming. Okay, so you can create a multiple object as well, and also we can see the construct by default constructor we have seen, parameterized construction we have seen, and also let's suppose we will create a multiple constructor we can say like constructor overloading. Okay, so now we can also create more than one constructor in the Java, and it is possible as well. Then how we can create a multiple constructor? See, this is the construction, a parameterized constructor we had created. We need to create one more constructor. How we will create? Person, we will give the class name, and here only this what you need to do, only we will not add the parameter here. We will just here calling one more constructor, calling without name, or we can put it without name. Okay, so if you will run this program, then you will see we can run the multiple constructor. Okay, you need to remove this because the first one is printing. Now you can see calling without name. Okay, here you can see like it's saying calling without name is printing. Okay, this is printing person. Okay, and here you have to create the persons, and you need to pass here you need to remove first one because we don't need to create. Here we have created the multiple constructor, and we can remove this one first. We have to remove this, then just comment it down. Here we need to print this. Okay, So in one constructor we are passing your name, and in another constructor we are not passing anything. Here you can write calling with name. Okay, so you can see both constructor are calling. Okay, so in one you can see in one constructor we are not passing any argument, no argument, so it's called non-parameterized constructor. And if we are passing here, we can see like we are passing the argument, then we can see here like it's called like parameterized constructor. Okay, okay, so here one more important concept we can see, like polymorphism. So this is known as polymorphism. Why this is known as polymorphism? Yes, why? Because there are many forms of the same constructor. We can see like this, the class name is same, but we are in one constructor we are not passing any parameter, and in another constructor we are passing the parameter. So we can see it's known as polymorphism. Okay, okay, so same class with different behavior, as we already told you inside this OOPS concept and OOPS benefits as well. You can see that video, then you will understand well. Okay, so default constructor signature, if you don't create any constructors, Java creates internally, as we understood very well. Okay, so if this is the person, then this is the default constructor. No parameter, no code. We have to, this will like this is the default constructor. Okay, no parameter and no code, so we can say it's a default constructor and Java creates internally. Okay, so that's why if you create a parameterized constructor, Java does not create default constructor anymore. So you can call it as like own constructor. You can create a custom constructor as well. Okay, so in this video we have understood like constructor is used to create an object. Constructor runs automatically. Constructor has same name as class, and constructor has no return type, and we used to initialize a variable inside the constructor. Okay, and we can help, like we helps in enforcing rules like name must be given. We can do like this. Okay, okay, so in upcoming videos we will use constructor as a lot to initialize variable and enforce value when an object is created. Okay, so this was the demonstration of the constructor, and I hope you will find this really easy, and let's meet in the next video. Until then, bye bye and take care. Thank you so much. Bye.